If you're worrying that you don't last long enough in bed, and you have a wife or a girlfriend, and you're feeling all that pressure and stress, here's a thing you can try. Next time you're hanging out with your partner, maybe you're driving back from the supermarket together, you can idly start a conversation along the lines of, I was watching this annoying sex therapist guy on YouTube the other day, and it got me wondering, what do you really like in a sexual partner? What's most important to you? So probably don't ask this before or right after sex, and not in the middle of sex either. You want a casual setting. Make the question open and conversational. And if you want to make it a bit more multiple choice, you might make a couple of suggestions. Is good hygiene the most important thing? Or being assertive? Or the guy being able to last for a certain amount of time? Or his penis size? Or being proficient at giving oral? So notice that lasting longer is a suggestion there, but give your partner time to answer. And they'll agree with one or two of these things, or they'll tell you their own insight. And note, if the prospect of asking your partner something like this feels inappropriate or too uncomfortable, well, maybe see this as a new line of communication and understanding of each other's needs. It's essential stuff. And yes, your wife or your girlfriend might think back to her previous sexual partners. She might even mention this guy who used to do this or that or whatever. Again, if that makes you too uncomfortable to have this conversation, a bit of getting over that could be called for. So be curious, give your partner time, and really listen to the answer. And when it comes, did your partner pick right up on lasting longer in bed? Did she say, yeah, all these things are good, but keeping going is my top priority. That's what does it for me. Well, maybe, possibly, but I'm betting she doesn't. And statistically, it's pretty unlikely too. There was a Twitter poll not that long ago, which asked women, do you ever get bored during penetrative sex and just want it to be over already? And 82% of the female participants said yes. And that was a revelation for a lot of men. Now, if your partner does rate lasting longer as a top priority, that's helpful. You know you're both on the same page, and you can discuss and you can work together on this. And there's even a self-help course I might mention to achieve exactly this. But chances are your partner will say, yeah, hygiene is number one. If a guy smells, my pants are staying on. Or touch, I want him to run his hands all over me. Or I want him to hear what I want and what I don't want, and I don't want him to push for things that I'm not into. Or assertiveness is my thing. I want him to carry me to the bedroom. Now, maybe you already have these conversations, or this might be all new, but hear the answers, get the feedback. And are you doing it? Are you able to give these things more priority in your approach to sex? Lasting longer in bed is still a fine aspiration. And there is a course, did I mention that? But it's not the be-all and end-all that so many guys think it is. So if you hear your partner answer about touch or assertiveness or closer connection, and then you think, interesting, I still need to last longer, and then I'll do more touch or assertiveness, or I'll go down on her more, then this just tells us your priorities might just be out of alignment. Or if you think, yeah, I'll try that sometime, okay, I can do that, but then you don't do it, lasting longer is not your problem. Or if you think you're doing all the things already, maybe you are, but what tweaks could you make? How could you mix things up a bit? Remember, the majority of women, about 70%, don't reach orgasm from having a penis moving back and forth inside their vagina. Women desire other things. They prioritise other sexual needs. Now, you're entitled to want and to enjoy your own things, of course, and that may well be wanting to last a bit longer. But Are you overthinking time and duration here? Are you sometimes a bit hung up on not coming too quickly when there are other things that your partner would like you to focus on? Well, you can follow this up in the conversation. Ask and understand, how long do you prefer intercourse for? What might you like more of before or after? What works best for you? Because yes, women often take longer to reach orgasm than men. It's about 20 minutes on average to a man's 5 minutes on average. But does your partner want you banging away for that long? Now, there's a high probability they'd like to spend that extra time warming up with foreplay, oral, fingers, maybe toys. Because when really asked, women often say that 5 minutes of intercourse is optimal if there's been 5 to 10 minutes of good foreplay before or after. 5 minutes. This is a bigger predictor of female orgasm with the foreplay. All women have a different take on this, of course, but at longer intercourse sessions, they're not always as desirable as you might think. This is real sex in your relationship. It's not the artifice of porn. And if you don't have a partner right now, I hope this is still useful stuff to know. Bring this to your next relationship. Have such a conversation earlier in the sexual connection. Or if you're avoiding sexual relationships because of the stress of premature ejaculation, some guys do, then you're probably overthinking this. How long you last is not the measure of your sexual potential or your potential as a partner. Now, in a 2008 study, most sex therapists agreed that desirable sex lasts anywhere between 7 and 13 minutes. Now, for guys, being able to have intercourse for 7 minutes, it's doable, but it doesn't need to be 7 to 13 minutes of intercourse. Outer course, foreplay, touch, sensuality. This is where a lot of the fun and the excitement lies in sex. Now I'm going to wrap this up with a quote from a female Twitter user on the matter of early ejaculation. So I quote, "It's fine and not a big deal. I think most women who sleep with men pretty quickly realise that penises don't work on command, and that's okay. So try not to curl into a ball of shame or anything, because it's really nothing to be ashamed of. Shake it off. Make sure your partner has a good time and feels satisfied." Well put. We have stats and research, but there's actually no ideal duration of time that intercourse should last. The word should does more harm than good in the bedroom. Talk with your partner. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy it with your partner, and enjoy working on your abilities, on your sexual repertoire. But don't stress unnecessarily over the timing of things, okay? Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about premature ejaculation or sexual confidence in general, please feel free to get in touch, and my website is linked in the description below. And you'll find lots more advice in my Bang on Time self-help course, which teaches the essential skills for managing your sexual excitement and enjoying sex for longer. And there's a link to that in the description too, guaranteed. Also remember that I'm a therapist sharing my opinions and general advice, but this is no substitute for going to see your own GP or doctor. So if you have any concerns about health or your sexual health, you should go and get a medical checkup and take some advice. Thank you very much for watching.